Alright, let's get into a weird one. BoJack Horseman is a very strange show. Let's go beyond the fact that the show takes place in a world where we have both animal humanoids and regular people all living in harmony, but the central crux of the show is that it follows a deflated Hollywood actor. Even though our main character BoJack is super rich, he finds trivial things to worry about like status, dating, and his public appearance, which leads the whole show down a very strange direction. And this show has legs. It ran for 6 seasons, and like any show that has a long running history, people have started to pick it apart, and it's my job to find those gems and bring them over to you. Hello, Most Amazing Top 10 family. I am your host, Jade Arena, and on today's Most Amazing Top 10 list, we are going to be looking at the top 10 scary BoJack Horseman theories. And right before we get into that, I got to tell you guys about a little contest we got going on. This spring, we're going to be giving away $5,000 in cash prizes. Yeah, and the next prize is $1,000. How you guys gotta win is you gotta go over to Instagram and you gotta follow at Most Amazing Top 10 Official and at LYNN Productions. And then you gotta find the post that is promoting this contest. Then you gotta go over to the post, into the comments, and you gotta tell us what you would spend the $1,000 on and tag 3 friends. So it's very easy. You just gotta follow 2 pages, you gotta find the post, you gotta comment, and then you gotta tag. That is it. And also, make sure you stick around until the end of this list because I'm gonna be doing some more pet shoutouts, which you guys love so much. And without taking it any longer, let's get into this list. At number 10, we have BoJack's self-destruction. If you only watch about 10 minutes of this show, or even if you just watch the trailer, you'll realize that BoJack is one of the most self-destructive characters that has ever been put on TV. All he does is drink, party, chase women, and look for anything that can numb the pain of his bleak existence. So what does that mean for his future? Now, the show has already finished its run, so many of you know how it ends. Don't worry, I won't spoil it for you, but some people speculate that even though the show is over, the character's inevitable future will be that he takes his own life. This was probably the most talked about theory before the show finished, and all the pieces are there. You can only live that fast and hard for so long before the world catches up to you and you no longer have the will to live because you literally snorted away all your serotonin. Coming in at number 9, we have the different stages of grief. This theory suggests that each one of the main characters of BoJack Horseman is a different representation of the 5 stages of grief. This is similar to other theories about other shows, like the theory that the 7 main SpongeBob characters are the 7 deadly sins. But for those of you that don't know the 5 stages of grief, here they are. They are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. And if we hold a mirror up to the 5 leads of BoJack Horseman, it's kind of hard to argue that they don't match up. First, we have Mr. Peanut Butter, who would be denial. Whenever the character is confronted with death, he looks the other way, like how he tells everyone that his parents went to go live on a farm. Mr. Peanut Butter is of course a dog, and when dogs go to live on the farm, well, you can fill in the rest. Diane is the biggest rage case on the show. Princess Caroline is constantly trying to bargain with her family. And finally, we have Todd, who would be acceptance. It doesn't matter how bad the situation gets, Todd is always along for the ride. At number 8, we have Hollyhock will go down the same dark path as BoJack. Hollyhock is the mild-mannered half-sister of BoJack Horseman. She seems to be immune to the temptations of Tinseltown, but how long will she be able to block it out? We already have seen the two grow close. We know that she cares for BoJack and she's wanting to see him do well, and this might draw her closer into the Hollywood underbelly. Her extended exposure to the world could get her addicted to everything that comes with a life of celebrity, fame, money, and the booze, not to mention drugs. All of that will be too tempting for her to walk away from, and she'll start to turn into a younger version of her half-brother. Maybe even get her own TV show, and before you know it, the vicious cycle continues and everyone gets stuck doing the same thing over and over and over again. We never learn from the people around us. Coming in at number 7, we have Who is Erica? Throughout BoJack Horseman, we often see Mr. Peanut Butter shout out to someone off-screen named Erica. Now, we never get to see who Erica is, and according to the show's creators, Erica is a real person. Some of the fans have started to put together who she might be. Some people think she could be Mr. Peanut Butter's owner, that all the animals in the world actually have owners, and we're just seeing the show from the animal perspective. The universe where every human-animal hybrid is as sophisticated as a person is just an illusion. Or maybe the answer is way simpler than that Erica doesn't exist at all, and Mr. Peanut Butter is just using her as an excuse to get out of boring situations. Could be that. Coming in at number 6, we have Hollyhock as BoJack's only real friend. Sure, it seems like he has some people around him, but does he really? Who does BoJack Horseman have close to him who he can really count on? Everyone tries to backstab him, make money off of him, or use his fame to elevate their own careers. When BoJack eventually reunites with his half-sister Hollyhock, the two spend some actual quality time together, and BoJack and her have a deep conversation about their mental health. And when Hollyhock is leaving from her visit with BoJack, she says, "I love you." Hollyhock is someone who honestly doesn't need anything from BoJack, and yet she still shows him affection, which is very strange for the show. So she might be the only person that he can actually call a friend. That is very sad. Coming in at number 5, we have Why Can't Princess Caroline Have Kids? One of the most depressing character arcs in BoJack Horseman is the development of Princess Caroline. She wants to have a family. She is constantly looking for that Mr. Right she can build a future with, but it's revealed that she's infertile and unable to have kids. Are we watching an adult cartoon, or is this HBO? This sounds like something that would be on Game of Thrones. Now, why is this? Is this a simple biological disorder? I mean, this kind of thing happens to a lot of people without an unseen twist. Someone on Reddit who goes by Tane101 dug into this a little deeper and thinks they might have found the cause. Princess Caroline has a treasured family necklace that's been passed down from generation to generation. It's made of solid gold, or so Caroline thought. Turns out it's just a hunk of cheap metal that was painted. The theory is that the metal is actually lead, and extended lead exposure can lead to infertility. So maybe this family heirloom was actually a curse. At number 4, we have BoJack and Diane have been sleeping together this whole time. I mean, sure, Diane and BoJack are friends, but they definitely have their differences, and this causes them to butt heads all the time. Not to mention that Diane and Mr. Peanut Butter have been engaged in an on-again, off-again relationship for a very long time. It seems like Diane is absolutely repulsed by BoJack's lifestyle and the way he treats women, but that's exactly what gives this theory fuel. The reason that Diane hates BoJack is not so much because he bounces from woman to woman, but because in between those women, the two of them will often hook up, and she's been hiding feelings for him. She doesn't tell anyone this because it would hurt her professional life and because it would be a strain on her image. And also, who knows what the fallout would be between her and Mr. Peanut Butter. At number 3, we have Mr. Peanut Butter is a mastermind. It's a very powerful tool to have everyone think you're dumb so you can get away with things, and people will never blame you for something you did wrong. This could be Mr. Peanut Butter's whole game. He has everyone think he's a dunce, but he's actually pulling all the strings. It's a little strange that things always work out for him, that he was able to walk his way into the film and television industry and become super famous, and at the same time he's always doing ridiculous things that make sure the people around him don't get ahead of him. Not to mention that every romantic relationship he gets into is with someone significantly younger than him, and that is a classic move of a manipulator. Find someone who is younger and naive so you can trick them into doing whatever you see fit. When things work out in Mr. Peanut Butter's favor so many times, it's hard to say that he doesn't have any intention of making his life better through these cruel deeds. At number 2, we have Sarah Lynn Was Abused. Sarah Lynn is one of the wildest characters on the show. Even for a show that has an entire cast of self-centered substance abusers, she might be the craziest. But there's a good chance that the center point of her self-destructive behavior is due to abuse. We constantly see her reference her stepdad, who is a bear and who homeschooled her. Now, there have been several hints that suggest her stepdad bear is supposed to be Terry Richardson. If you don't know who he is, well, he's a giant pile of scum that works as a photographer in Hollywood, and he has several sexual misconduct allegations against him. There have been several relations between Terry Richardson and Sarah's bear stepdad. They both wear big gaudy glasses, they both have skinny frames, and they're both photographers. On top of this, there was an episode where Sarah Lynn knows that a clump of hair is bear fur just by tasting it. Yeah, I'll let you fill in the rest on that one. And for the number 1 spot, we have the nuclear timeline. How did all these animal-human hybrids come to be? Well, some people think that it came from a different timeline where nuclear energy was discovered much earlier, like in the 1500s. People experimented with it, but they could not understand it, and this caused mutations and eventually created human-animal mixes. At first, everyone thought that they were disgusting, but after a lot of time and some major conflicts, they set their differences aside, and so much time has passed that everyone now lives together in a normal society. That's how we get the show without it being weird that there's horsehead people walking around. Alright everyone, that has been our list. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and as promised, I'm going to be doing some more pet shoutouts. Remember, if you want me to shout out your pet, you can hit me up on Instagram. I pick new pets every day, so if you don't get picked one day, you can message back another day. I usually pick who messaged last, so if you don't get picked, you can just message again and again and again and again. If it takes me a little while to get back to you, I am very sorry. And without taking any longer, let's shout out some pets. To kick things off, we have a bunny named Bunny, keeping things simple. I very much like it. Next, we have the little cat Gypsy, who's looking very good, all curled up like that. After that, we have Spiky, who is such a cute little cat with his Pikachu toy. I love it. Then we have Sunshine, who is a cute little cat rolling around. And to close it out, we have Anna, who is ready for her close-up. All right, everyone, that is all we have for you today. I would love it if you guys could like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. Until next time, I've been your host, Chaderena, and I gotta go finish BoJack Horseman. Bye. Like status, dating, public appearance, and his public appearance, which leads the whole. If you only watch about 10 minutes of the show, then you'll realize, like the theory that the seven main SpongeBob